amendments, that they be reported by number, and that the Senate vote in relation to the amendments in the order listed, with no amendments in order prior to a vote. Barrasso, 3055, Carper, 3330, Thune, 3106, Cortez Masto, 3317.
Is there objection? Without objection.
I yield the remaining Republican time on the resolution.
The senator has that right.
I yield the majority's remaining time on the resolution.
The senator has that right. All time on the resolution has been yielded back. Yes.
Madam President.
Senator from Wyoming.
Thank you, Madam President. I call up my amendment number 3055 and ask that it be reported by number.
The clerk will record the amendment by number.
The senator from Wyoming, Mr. Barrasso, proposes an amendment numbered 3055.
There will now be 2 minutes of debate, equally divided.
Madam President. Madam President, I'm offering this amendment to spare the country from the so-called Green New Deal. The Green New Deal is not about protecting the environment. It's about making big government even bigger. This socialist scheme would destroy jobs. It will reduce the quality of life for the American people. Millions and millions of Americans will suffer. It would worsen already high inflation. It will drive a stake through the economy and eventually bankrupt the nation. Senate Democrats have made it clear that they want to use this reckless tax and spending spree to implement the Green New Deal. Just last night, Senator Markey of Massachusetts made this statement. He says, without question, the Green New Deal is in the DNA of this budget resolution. Let me repeat. He said, without question, the Green New Deal is in the DNA of this budget resolution. Instead of raising costs on energy, we should be working to lower the cost of alternative technologies and fuels through innovation, not taxation and regulation. So I would encourage a yes vote on the Barrasso amendment and reject the job-killing Green New Deal.
Madam President.
The senator from Vermont.
Mr. Barrasso's amendment is interesting when he talks about the Green New Deal. The only problem is what he's talking about has nothing to do with the Green New Deal. Despite what Senator Barrasso says, the Green New Deal would not ship jobs overseas. In fact, it will create millions of good-paying jobs in the United States of America. It will not raise electricity prices. It will not make the United States dependent on dirty sources of energy from other countries. In case the senator from Wyoming has missed it, Oregon is burning. California is burning. Greece is burning. There is a drought hitting virtually every country on Earth. Newsflash, climate change is real, and the United States and other countries have got to address it. Madam President, as a supporter of the Green New Deal, I have no problem voting for this amendment because it has nothing to do with the Green New Deal.
The question is on the amendment.
Yeas and nays.
Is there a sufficient second? There appears to be. The clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Baldwin, Mr. Barrasso. Mr. Bennett. Mrs. Blackburn. Mr. Blumenthal. Mr. Bennett, Mrs. Blackburn, Mr. Blumenthal, Mr. Blunt, Mr. Booker, Mr. Bozeman, Mr. Braun, Mr. Brown, Mr. Burr, Ms. Cantwell, Mrs. Capito, Mr. Cardin, Mr. Carper, Mr. Casey, Mr. Cassidy, Ms. Collins, Mr. Coons, Mr. Cornyn, Ms. Cortez Masto, Mr. Cotton, Mr. Kramer, Mr. Crapo, Mr. Cruz, Mr. Daines, Ms. Duckworth, Mr. Durbin, Ms. Ernst, Mrs. Feinstein, Mrs. Fisher, Mrs. Gillibrand, Mr. Graham, Mr. Grassley, Mr. Haggerty, Ms. Hassan, Mr. Hawley, Mr. Heinrich, Mr. Hickenlooper, Ms. Hirono,